south of. So the ruckus finally just died down, so I thought I'd get up to go to the washroom. And just in time for the sun to come up. So I'm back on the trail, and it's good to be back on the trail, but the last couple of nights have really had me thinking about stuff. Anyways, we'll get back to that. Yeah, I spoke too soon. The ruckus just picked up on the other side again. Crying out loud. Ruins of a building in such a completely random place. In the middle of nowhere, on a hillside, somewhere on the other side of the Carmel Range, I guess, is where I am. Didn't sleep really well last night. Didn't sleep probably at all with all that noise going on around me. Or the night before in that hiker room. Didn't sleep much there either, so just hoping I can get to Ainhood, hoping I can find a trail angel to stay at tonight. And that's going to be hard because it is Yom Kippur. As you can hear, well, there was some noise, music and stuff coming from across the valley earlier, but for the most part it's pretty quiet. The roads are quiet. I did hear a couple cars going up and a motorbike. But for the most part people don't drive on Yom Kippur at all. All the roads are quiet. Kids sit in the streets and ride their bikes, and it's actually kind of a nice break on some level, but when you're trying to get somewhere and you're on the Shvil, it kind of throws a wrench into your plans. So there's some kind of caves in the rock here. There's one further up there. And that one has a bar through it, so I don't know. I guess it's theoretically accessible, so maybe they had to put a bar through it so people wouldn't climb in there. I don't know. And then weird orange and black streaks down the rock. So I assume that that's from whatever minerals are in this rock and are getting leached out in the rain. Interesting. Can you see that? This rock makes me think it must be volcanic. And that, behind me, is the Mediterranean Sea. It's actually in front of me, but I turned around so you could see it. And there's a fortress out there. I saw it on the way up on the train. I think it's some kind of medieval fortress. Try to get you a better view. That crane was just hanging out by that cow that's going off the road now. And I wasn't fast enough to grab it before. But now it's up in that tree. Beautiful. And that one just decided to hitch a ride. Hilarious. I've been looking at those basins over there for a while, trying to figure out what they are. I don't know if you can see them. I might have to flip my camera for you to see those, but yeah, I am going to have to find out what they are. Those are the basins I'm talking about. It's right on the edge of the Mediterranean, and it looks like they're cultivating something. Oh, actually it's not. Now I realize what it is. Those are the mesh nettings on top of the orchards. I guess they keep the plants in the shade a little bit. It's kind of funny because they almost look like they're related to the Mediterranean Sea. in some kind of aquaculture. But they're not. They're just mesh netting over orchards and other agricultural fields. I just came down that. Pretty impressed with myself that I actually did it, because there's sort of like stairs at the bottom, but up at the top there's just a drop about 1.5 meters, and definitely required bum maneuvers again, and I really was hoping for no bum maneuvers today. But there you go, and more to come. Well, somehow I made it. Not sure how, but I made it. Not sure what else is in store for me though. Crazy caves up at the top of the hillside. Cliffside, I should say. Look at that cliff. And other caves, more caves down there. Really insane. Oh, sorry, those are trees. Okay, but there's a cave over there somewhere. There. If I was a little more psycho, I would want to go exploring those. But not that crazy. So I've made it about 5 kilometers today so far. I didn't leave very early. I left after 8 o'clock. It was very slow getting started. And I'm here. By about 11 o'clock, I got to this picnic area. It's very quiet. There's, I think, maybe 3 or 4 Arab families having a picnic with their families on their holiday, since and they don't observe Yom Kippur. So I'm actually surprised how many cars I have seen go by, but I mean, some people who don't observe the holiday, I guess they do try to get out and do something. So I'm just waiting out the heat of the day a little bit and just chilling. And I've got about 3 more kilometers to go to a little town. I think it might be a kibbutz called Ein Hod. And I'm hoping to get a trail angel there, because I don't really have much other choice. And the only trouble is it is Yom Kippur, so I really feel bad calling people, but I don't want to wait until after dark to call anybody. So obviously I won't be able to call any of the people who are holiday observant, but hopefully the people that I call on the list are not identified as holiday observant, so hopefully they won't be too offended. The other incredible thing is, somehow I climbed down that hill, that slope, cliff, whatever it is. Up there and over there, I don't know how I did it, but somehow I did it, and here I am. Oh wow, I just climbed up from down there, if you can see that, you probably can't, to this crazy cave. And my guidebook says it's a Stone Age cave, like 10,000 years old or something. And I imagine people probably lived in here at some point. That's crazy. It's huge. It's like the size of, I don't know, you can't really see it because of the darkness in the back of the cave, but it's like probably the size of a like a huge, pretty huge living room, I would say, and like a big house. Wow, pretty amazing. But the climb up here was extremely difficult, so now I need to figure out how to get down and get how to continue from here. Yeah. And a little while further, this is the view. Well, despite all the challenge of getting up here, I've got to say, this is absolutely a once-in-a-lifetime view. And definitely once in a lifetime, because as much as I've joked about planning my south to north hike, that ain't happening. That much I've learned. So I took a bit of a break because I frankly thought I was going to actually die of heat stroke. And so I just sat in the shade for about an hour and rehydrated, got some electrolytes, and took care of myself for a little bit. And now I'm on the move again, and I'm almost at Inhud, which is where I'm headed. But again, I have this problem that it's Yom Kippur, and there's no point in trying to reach anybody until pretty much it's dark. An hour after sunset, which basically means until it's dark. But I'm just going to go and sit somewhere by the village and while away the time, and we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, along this dirt road that brings me to the village, there's all these weird sculptures, because I guess this it all has to do with the fact that this town is has some kind of an artist village, and I think it's Marcel Janco Dadaist, something like that, museum. And so there's all these weird sculptures in the middle of nowhere, which is kind of funny and kind of cool. It's a really funky little town. It's got a little theater here in the artist village. I guess they do theater shows or something. And all kinds of little restaurants and little artists, shops and jewelry and fashion and all kinds of stuff. So a really cool place to stop and visit. If you had energy and if it wasn't Yom Kippur and everything was open. After 2 sleepless nights, basically, and 2 days of being on the verge of, if not outright heat stroke, then at least heat exhaustion. Despite all those magnificent views, which were magnificent, but high price to pay, I gotta say. I am really super grateful, also, after all the trouble of finding a place on Yom Kippur. I was able to find a place, and the trail angels here were really lovely, and they even came and brought me a huge plate of food, vegetarian food, and I didn't even tell them I was vegetarian. So hopefully I'll sleep well tonight and be able to get off early in the morning and get a good day's worth of hiking in. Not sure how far I'm going to go tomorrow, but I'm going to try to at least get some kilometers in and hopefully find a trail angel in Zichron Yaakov, but we'll have to work that out in the morning. Laila Tov.